$6 billion.
Can you play? I'm sure Bill Romanowski didn't care how his quarterback looked. John Elway walked into the locker room with his hat on backwards. Romo didn't care. Can you spin it? Can you complete a pass? So you know what? Elway, Montana, he played with some great quarterbacks. Rich Gannon. Bill Romanowski joins us here on the Morning Roast. It has been a long time coming for the 4-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time Pro Bowler, former Niner, former Eagle. We love Romo here on the Roast. Bill, long time no talk, man. I can't go through a football season without talking to you, especially before a big game like this.
Good morning, guys. Man, does it get any better than this game right now? Coming up. It's probably the game of the year if you really, break it down. And it's going to be, this game, I think, will probably decide, which team's going to make it to the Super Bowl. Wow. I really do believe that.
Wow. Is this a body bag game, Romo? Honestly, with the trenches, both defensive lines, the offensive lines, the way the Niners want to run the ball, the way the Eagles run the ball, this feels like one of those games that you would have thrived in. Physicality, hard hitting, in the rain. Is this a body bag game?
Oh, I've been thinking about this all morning. What's going to be the difference in this game? And I truly believe who is going to be the meanest, nastiest team on the field. And I think the Niners are a meaner team. I really do. There's, for some reason, and the Eagles are a really good football team. Hey, they've proven it with their record, but I just believe the Niners got more nasty in them. I really do. And I think that will be one of the deciding factors in this football game. Who wins in the trenches? Who hits harder? And it's 60 minutes of that, the nasty in the trenches. And and I'm leaning San Francisco. I really am.
Romo, as a excellent linebacker for both organizations, when you watch Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, I was telling Bonte that Dre Greenlaw kind of reminds me of you in terms of the nasty. Like he isn't just trying to hit you. Yeah. He's trying to hurt you.
Right.
And what do you see when you see these two linebackers for the Niners play?
No, that's exactly it. He doesn't want to tackle somebody. He wants to deliver pain to somebody. And that's what you get out of both of these linebackers for the Niners. When they deliver a blow, it's like there's always extra in the hit. And I love it. I love watching these guys. They play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Agreed. Bill Romanowski, 4-time Super Bowl champ on the Morning Roast right now. Now, the nasty. You talk about the nasty because I'm 100% with you on the nastiness and inflicting pain in a football game like this. But this Eagles offensive line, you're going to have to shed blocks off of Jason Kelsey. If Lane Johnson plays, this Dickerson guy, this offensive line, how would you navigate or try to defend, shed a block against this big, nasty Eagles offensive line?
It really comes down to this. It comes down to 11 guys on every play doing their job. And I know that sounds kind of cliche,
right?
But you got to take care. You got to win your battle. When you line up at defensive end and Bose is there, he's got to handle his responsibility. Don't try to do too much. And dominate, win your battle. And, on every play, you've got 11 individual battles. And you got to win your battle. And that's what it's going to take. And it's 11 guys flying to the football. I remember George Seifert, calling us in. We had a tough time in the season. This was when Steve Young took over. And we had a tough time that season. And he brought us a few of the starters in, more of the leaders on the team. And here's what he said to us. He said, I'm not always going to call the right defense for a particular play. But when you guys are balling, you guys are doing your thing, I know we're going to be all right. So I need you guys to step it up. And the message was really this. Hey, if in the weight room you normally lift an hour a day, I want an hour and 15 out of you moving forward. If after practice you were working on technique and you usually do a little extra 5-10 minutes, give me an extra 15. You know, when it comes to, you know, your sleep and recovery, you know, give me an extra half hour a day. And this was to the leaders of the team. And, you know, it's one of those things where you got to do your job. And, you know, you can break down a football game in so many ways. And I break it down really 3 ways. Turnovers, third down, and do you score touchdowns in the red zone versus kicking field goals? You know, and you can pretty much break down every football game in the National Football League that way. So you'll have that in this football game, but then it's the nasty will be the difference in this football game. And I just know that the 49ers are nastier. We've got more nasty.
Boar hunters. I call them boar hunters like you used to, Romo.
Yeah. No, hey, we don't have any bacon eaters. we got guys that bring their knives and they go out and they hunt wild boar. They're not sitting at home eating their bacon. These guys hunt, and these guys will be savage, you know, warriors this weekend. And the nasty is going to come out because this is a tough place to play, and you know these fans are nasty. I mean, they really are. And we got to make it up out on the field. And we just got to be nastier than the Eagles this weekend.
You know, you were part of that team that went into Philadelphia when Montana was down in that fourth quarter, getting pounded over and over and over again into that turf. And we were talking about that game, that fourth quarter excellence game against that team. Bonte's going to rattle it off right now.
Oh, they're 4 touchdowns, fourth quarter, Romo, 28 points, man. Against Buddy Ryan's defense.
You know, but
I remember it.
When we talk about Montana's lore, like that's one of those seminal regular season moments of why he's the comeback kid. Doing it there.
You're right. Hey, it's, you know, do you deliver when your team really needs it? Do you deliver? And hey, I was fortunate. I played with a lot of great quarterbacks, but Joe was so clutch in so many big games, in so many, you know, moments that it was just a blessing to be able to have a guy like that on your team that you just knew when you went into the game. And if you played your game, that will be another one. It's the way they take the field in pregame. It's the way they walk out on the field. It's like, you know, that confidence and that momentum that you start to get. And both teams have it. They've got serious momentum right now, but it's that little bit extra. Like you walk out on that field and you're like, you're going down. Green all game long. You know, the Eagles are going down. I look at the Eagles for some reason. I don't know why this is, but I do feel like they are a little soft.
Romanowski thinks they're soft.
I do, and I don't know if it's because of, you know, and I have a lot of respect for Hurts, and I think he's a really good quarterback. But I just like a guy like Purdy that brings his lunch pail, every day and is just a guy that is more of a blue-collared guy. He's not going to wear a bunch of gold around his neck. He's going to show up maybe in a sweater and a pair of sweatpants, and he's just going to go do his job and dissect this team this weekend.
You really like Purdy because we love Purdy. And again, throwing anybody's name into the Joe Montana mix is reckless, right? But the guy is just such a brilliant processor. It looks like he's been playing the game forever, Romo.
Oh, that's really what sets him apart. And I was, I don't know, a month and a half ago, we had a Broncos reunion and for the Super Bowl. And I talked to Mike Shanahan about him. And, and I said, Mike, what is it about him? He said, Bill, the first practice I laid eyes on him, I saw it in him.
Wow.
And I remember walking by him in the hallway. This is when he's a rookie. And he told me this. He said, Bill, I told him, Brock, be ready. I don't know when you're going to get your shot, but be ready because you've got something special.
This was in training camp, Romo?
Yeah, Mike told me that he shared that to Brock Purdy. He said, when you get your chance, it's coming. I don't know when it's going to come, but be ready. And sure enough, he saw it because he saw the way he picked apart the starting defense when he was playing scout team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing there because Trey Lance was a starter. He gets hurt week 2. Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt later on in the season. Wow, that's amazing there. Amazing. A rookie who's the last pick of the draft. That's unprecedented, Romo. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but he saw it. He saw it the first practice that he watched this guy play.
Romo, what about CMC? You had to have had some interactions with him growing up, right? When he was growing
McCaffrey,
up. Yeah. So, because I'm watching this dude and I'm saying, honest to God, it sounds insane. I don't think he has a hole in his game. I think, like, in terms of talent, Christian McCaffrey, this kid has first ballot talent. Now, you got to go out and have a resume and you got to put together years and years in the longevity. What I'm seeing in a Niner uniform, he was born to play football.
Oh, man. Christian is truly a really special guy. And, and as we've watched, he's kind of that one missing chess piece that they needed, to really set them apart on offense. And, he was one of those missing pieces. And we saw it from the first time he stepped on the field in a 49er uniform, and he's just been kicking ass ever since.
There's no doubt. He was doing it at Stanford, did it in Carolina. I love the guy. He doing what he does and all, and I want him getting every snap. Real quick, Romo, before we let you go, and we appreciate your time today.
Best,
so good to hear your voice. I'm so fired up for Sunday. I wish the game was in an hour. How would you defend or try to stop the tush push, the brotherly shove?
Yeah.
You know what? To me, and I've alluded to it over and over again in this interview. We just got to bring Nasty this weekend. We got to bring Nasty, and I cannot wait. And I know we're going to bring it. It's just, how bad are we going to beat this team this weekend?
Oh, I love that.
Hey, Romo, if you had Sirianni chirping the way he does, and you were on the field, and you had an opportunity to, kind of get near him and say something to him as a player, how would you have handled that?
You know what? There were certain coaches that I was dying to have a play, go out of bounds where I could literally almost give them a really nice, forearm shiver and just lay him out. I mean, because hey, when I went into a game, not only did I hate every player, all the fans, did I hate the trainers,
right,
the equipment managers. I mean, I hated their head coaches too badly.
Who are those coaches? Who are those coaches that you wanted to give that forearm shiver to? Was it Jimmy Johnson? Was it Martin Schottenheimer?
No, you just said it. Jimmy Johnson was one of them.
Wow.
You know, Jimmy Johnson was one of them. Schottenheimer was one of them. Hey, and I love this guy to death growing up because I was a Dolphins fan as a kid. But I remember Don Shula. I would be like, God, I would love to give him a forearm shiver, you know? And he's one of the greatest of all time. And then there was even the guy with the hat, you know, Tom Landry.
Oh, yes.
Playing against him, you know, when I think it was my first or second year, we played in Dallas and beat the pants off of them. And I just would have loved to give him a little something. But you know who was the ultimate?
Huh.
Believe it or not, and it was Al Davis.
Wow.
And here's why. When we would come out in pregame warm-up, Al would come over with a piece of paper and sit there and watch the linebackers warm up. And you had no idea. I wanted to do it in pregame. I wanted the ball, you know, when we're doing little passing drill, I wanted to be able to just catch the ball and sprint right by him and give him a forearm shiver. Hey, and then I got to play for him, and I loved him to death.
Wow.
You know? But before that, I hated Al Davis.
Lastly, you talked about going to Philadelphia and playing in that environment. Shask and I traveled to the NSU championship game in our Niners gear. And boy, it was nasty. I'm still scarred. I still have PTSD. You played there at Veterans Stadium. Can you explain to the people who are going out there as Niner fans in Philadelphia, because we've tried, how nasty is it in Philadelphia with that fan base?
Well, I'll give you an idea. When I was there, and we had a little thing where a couple got married at halftime. And guess what? That couple who got married at halftime got booed. and when it got later in the season and we had Santa Claus out on the field, Santa Claus got booed by the Philadelphia fans.
Wow.
That's what Philly is all about. They're just about hard-hitting, nasty football. And, hey, they have a good football team, but like I said, I feel like they're a little bit soft.
Ooh, I love it. And that's how we're going to end this interview. Romo, we had to get you on. It's been far too long. We get fired up whenever you hear your voice, especially in a game like this. And you know you love December football, Romo. It gets a little cold. It gets a little nasty, in the words of Bill Romanowski. It's going to be a little drizzly. The elements are going to be a factor. It's going to be a lot of fun on Sunday. Romo, take care, man. Hope you're doing well, brother.
You're the best.
Okay, love you guys.
All right, Romo. Bill Romanowski, folks.
Oh, my God. The forearm shivers to the I knew he was going to say something like that.
He's talking about How about Mike Shanahan telling them, stay ready.
In first practice.
You're going to get your shot first practice. What?
It is.
Romo just doesn't talk to talk.
Well, one thing that I've realized is that fraternity, that Bronco 90s fraternity is very Niner-centric.
It's legit.
And it is very.
The McCaffreys, the Shanahans, Elway.
Lynch.
Yep, Lynch. Remember, Romo he interviewed for a Broncos head coaching job one time.
Yeah, I guess Lynch played more in the OOs, but you get where I'm going with this.
I do.
Like, there's a lot of connective tissue between Broncos and Niners over the years. Romo is getting that directly from the horse's mouth. Because we were at practice. I'm going to tell you right now, when I was at training camp multiple years, you could spot The old man, Mike Shanahan, in the end zone,
Right.
watching
Always.
the quarterbacks.
Always.
With those, what are those leather strap shoes?
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly.
But you can see the white hair,
Yes.
and sometimes he's just standing by himself.
Just standing.
And I'm telling you, man, Mike Shanahan does impact his. There's no doubt he's got his fingerprints. I believe Mike Shanahan did want Trey Lance, and they fell on the Brock Purdy. And maybe Mike was like, you know what? This is what it is, but I wasn't listening to it. Nobody, come on. Nobody thought Brock was going to be this good.
No. I think even Brock would say, like, he believed, like, B, when you have certain successes, right? I was explaining to you, they put a graphic on. What did you get nominated for?
Oh, the sportscaster, California Sportscaster of the Year, which is a joke.
No, it's an incredible achievement, and you deserve it. Stop it. I'm telling you deserve it. Come on.
Thanks.
But my point being is that in your heart of hearts, somewhere you believed you could get to that point.
No doubt.
But then to finally get there, it does feel a little surreal because you've accomplished so much and you keep grinding and grinding and grinding. Then you look up and you're getting recognized and there's a surrealness to it. And so I do believe like Brock thought he could do this, but then once you start doing it, there is a part of you that gets to sit down at some point, you know, on a Monday or whatever and go, wow, this is a little surprising to some degree. Now I knew I could do it, but like, come on.
Yeah, no doubt.
His dad wasn't even watching the game when he got checked in.
Right, I know. That's crazy.
His dad wasn't even
so
watching.
much there for Romo. He called the Eagles soft. He believes the Eagles soft. Make sure we clip that. Tag WIP so they can run with it, and we'll provide content once again for Sports Radio 94 WIP.
Yeah, and make sure that Matt and Hegan, who's in the other room, can you make sure that when they file payroll for next week, that WIP gives me some royalties for all the content I've created for them, both digitally and on air over the last few weeks. Thank you.
I feel like they're a little bit soft.
Oh, my God.
Shameless shout-outs coming up. I want to line them up. 888-957-9570. It's a great day to shout people out. 888-957-9570 is the phone number. Shout them out. Shout out whoever. I'm shouting out De La Salle. I need Lubbock. I need that number to get to De La Salle tonight. They got a big game to win the section championship, to advance to the state championship tonight. My sister Camille, her son Jaden Jefferson, my nephew, of course. Can't wait to see him play. I've been watching him on YouTube. I have to watch him on the laptop so much because of the Warriors and Baby Ches or whatnot. But I'm going to go out there to Concord, bundle up because I'm sure it's going to be cold. Shameless shout-outs. 888-957-9570. Let's go up to Sacramento. Oh, we got another special guest.
Who's this?
I don't even know why he doesn't have the bat. Why is he calling the regular number? He should have the hotline. It's Kitty Carried Away.
Let's go, Kenny.
Sactal KC.
KC.
What's up, KC? Where's KC at? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Get him the bat line.
Yeah, get him the bat line.
Lubman, you got his number. Call him directly.
888-957-9570. We have some special shout-outs to give out this week, some very special shout-outs. Again, we want to shout out Paulie Mack. We want to shout out Lee Hammer. We want to shout out FP Santangelo. We want to shout out a lot of digital team that I've gotten to know over the years from KBR. Hell, I wrote the first articles for KBR.com. I really did. Vontae Hill wrote the first articles for that website. So to see them slash their digital team away, that's trash. So shout out to them as well. Let's get to KC. KC, he's back on the line?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kidding.
Up in here, man. Hey, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to put, the Drake bars down. I know you have to put the umbrella down because we got to come together for a common purpose. It's Niner gang over here.
Yes,
Y'all got me turned up on this Friday. Y'all had me turned up yesterday, man. There's two things I want to say real quick. Two things I want to say. First of all, I don't even know dude's name. We just call him the little fella. When he couldn't understand yesterday why Philadelphia gets the reputation that he gets, it just boggles my mind. I'm going to break it down to him because I know they probably listening right now. It's not that fan violence doesn't happen all over the NFL. It's a problem everywhere. That's not exclusive to Philly. We're not saying that. The difference is the reason why Philadelphia is a bunch of jackasses and the media is a bunch of jackasses out there is because they're the ones that glorify it. If something happens at Levi's Stadium, nobody on 95.7 is saying, yeah, that's what happens when you come to Levi's. Nobody's saying that. But you talk about what goes on in Philly, and they promote that, and they glorify that. And that's why don't nobody like them, and that's why it's a problem. But, like you mentioned, they're not bright. They're not bright out there. So, it takes a couple times to get through to them. But who cares about their asses anyway? It's about the Niners, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, so many people are afraid to say it. I hear you guys giving respect, and I understand that. I get that. The Philadelphia Eagles, they do what they do. But at the end of the day, when this Niners team is healthy, they've smacked around everybody this year. Nobody's touched them. Good defenses, bad defense, good QBs, back. It hasn't mattered. When Debo, Trent, McCaffrey, and Brock are there, nobody's touched them. And Philly, they need to get to Brock. That's the one thing that you talk about it all the time, Vontae, the trenches. Yep. They get at the quarterback and they run the football. And I respect that. And I'm going to tell you right now, though, if they can't get to Brock, if they can't get there consistently, lights out. It's lights out because it's going to be barbecue chicken for that linebacker core in that secondary.
Yes.
It's about to be lights out. 34-20 49ers.
Let's
go. We're going to Philly to do what we do.
Let's go.
And we just don't come back and say, it's just another day. It's just another day.
It's just business.
It ain't even no big game to us. It's just another day.
Casey, I love you, man. I love what you and D-Lo are doing.
Let's go, Casey!
ESPN 1320. As brothers, it's like the Bloods and Crips, right? Putting up the picture with the red and the blue rag. That's what we doing on a Friday, Casey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all take care, big dog.
Casey,
hey, man,
you're doing great things, man.
Yeah, you are
Love
doing
you,
great things. You guys own Sacramento.